Good evening, everybody. We are back after a week-long hiatus due to the holiday there. But the Double Down Sports Betting Show is coming back at you. We're going to do the same thing as last time, run down the Week 13 NFL slate of games here. And again, give you our lock of the week, our underdog of the week, and we're going to throw a teaser at them.
Yeah, you want to do the teaser? We could just do the lock and the underdog.
Yeah, mine was so bad last time. I don't even really want to go down that road.
Yeah, let's just do lock and the underdog. Just to start out.
I wish we had done one last week because I had my lock of the week this week was actually Washington, and I talked about. Well, I sent a tweet to a radio show there in DC, and they mentioned it on the air, so it's on the record. So if anybody wants to call me out on that, but yeah, you can. I'll go ahead and kick it over.
It's on the record,
right? But yeah, I'll go ahead and kick it over to you and get this started.
All right. Well, just to recap, I missed my lock last week because I had or the week before because I had Seattle at to win against Arizona, and Russell Wilson still doesn't look the same to me. He says there's no injury issue, but he's just missing passes, and he's not playing the way that we're accustomed to seeing him playing. So
he's not, but their offense also sucks. Their offensive coordinator from the Rams, their play calling is just atrocious.
Yeah, they have no run game. Alex Collins, I don't know, he looks very hesitant.
And that's why that's the reason why they brought this guy in from McVay's scheme is to get the run game going. And it's just Russell Wilson is out after this season, but I'm not even going to get started on all that.
Yeah. So, but Dale. It is block. He had Cincinnati beating the Raiders. I hit my underdog, which was the Vikings to beat Green Bay. So, all right. So let's go on with this week's slate. So Thursday night, we have the Dallas Cowboys at the New Orleans Saints. I think spread is Dallas favorite 4.5. Is that what you see?
Yeah, opened up at 5.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect from this game. If you watch them play on Thanksgiving, Dallas just blew that game. But I mean, they were dinged up. Lamb and Cooper were out. I think Lamb is back for this game. I'm not sure about Cooper.
Cooper's back.
Cooper is back. Okay, so
they're both.
Kamara is also back. I think Ingram is back. Yeah. Saints looked very inept last game. Right. It was a hard watch. Like, I don't know. 4.5 seems like a lot. Will Saints put up back-to-back stinkers? Dallas hasn't really clicked. They lost 2 straight. I'm gonna take the points here and go with the Saints plus 4.5.
Yeah, man, that's tough. With all these guys coming back and with them being in the dome, is Sean Payton going to really go out there and lay 2 stinkers in a row? With the being at home too, that 4.5 is a lot in the dome. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take Dallas in those points. I think Dallas will go ahead and pull this out. I would bet a money line if I was going to make the bet. But with me having to make a pick here, even though they're favorite 4.5, I'm going to go ahead and take them.
I also want to mention, I think that McCarthy is dealing with COVID, so he's going to miss the game.
Which
I'm
will
not sure
only
if
help
any other
Dallas.
coaches.
That will only help Dallas.
But yeah, he's not play calling, so I don't know if that'll make a difference. But
I feel good on my pick though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't really have a strong lean. I'm just going to take the Saints because Kamara's back. And I don't know how Taysom Hill's going to look, but he has to be an upgrade over over Simeon. So
you would be an upgrade over Simeon.
I don't think so.
I saw him enough here in Denver, so
yeah, Simeon doesn't look good, but Taysom Hill has to be an upgrade. So I'll go ahead and take the Saints. All right. So for the next game, we have the New York Giants at Miami. Miami's favorite 5. Is that what you see?
It opened up at 2.5, and the Giants went out there and won, and the line has only gone up for Miami. So something's going on.
Yeah, is there some kind of injury I'm not aware of? I don't see.
I don't see any news.
Hmm,
Maybe just because Miami's defense has looked so dominant.
I don't see the line on the book that I have for some reason. It's off the board.
I've
Is
got
there
two and a
some kind
half.
of injury?
Oh, on your book. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if I got it. Are you looking on
No,
FanDuel too?
you see 2.5?
On covers at
Yeah,
least.
I think FanDuel shows 5.5. No.
Oh no. Sorry. The live line is 5. It opened at 2.5.
Yeah, so it's 5. It's 5 now, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, I know I see 5.5 on FanDuel.
Wow.
There must. That's a big spread.
Yeah.
Man,
That's
but
influencing
I
my
mean,
pick.
it is. I mean, is it an overreaction from Miami beating Carolina? Their defense has looked really good,
Really good. Yeah,
really
five
good
and a
the
half.
past. Yeah, I mean, they look really good the past few games. I don't, I don't know if it's Cam Newton or if it's that defense just being really good, but they pretty much shut him out. Pretty much shut out Carolina.
And
Um,
took McCaffrey out.
that's true, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it looks like Miami has won 4 in a row. They're on a winning streak. Beat Carolina, Jets, Baltimore, and Houston. I would say the Baltimore game is probably the one that stands out as a formidable opponent. But Giants don't look good either. Even though they squeaked out a win versus Philly, that I don't know how much of that I could credit Giants winning that game or if it's Philly just losing that game because Jalen Hurts threw a lot of interceptions. I think he had 4 interceptions that game. Yeah, was the offensive coordinator was fired, Jason Garrett. So that could have also been one of the reasons why Giants stepped up.
Yeah, that's only going to help too.
Yeah, 5.5 is a lot, but I don't know. I think they're going to shut down this Giants offense. They looked inept. Are they going to really lean on Barkley? Galladay hasn't looked good this year. You know, Shepard's been out forever. I think there's Tony. He's looked like he could be a bright star in the future. He's had his moments, but this Miami defense is really good, and I'm very down on Daniel Jones. I don't think he's going to be a good quarterback. So I don't like Tua, but you know they've been calling a lot of short plays, short passing plays to Jason Waddle. So yeah, I mean I'll take Miami and the points. They're at home. Even though it's a big number, 5.5, I'm taking Miami.
Yeah, again, that the movement in that line is definitely making me have second thoughts about my pick. But the fact that Garrett is out, Daniel Jones has athleticism. They have pieces here and there that they can use to actually play meaningful NFL football at some point. They were able to show some of it last week against Philly, but Philly also helped them out a great deal. Miami looked great against Carolina. The strength of their defense is that run defense. So with that being Carolina's strength, they shut that down, and then that's going to lead to them winning the game. The Giants have the ability to be more balanced than Carolina. They just haven't shown it in like a decade or so. But that line that's too big. I can't. If I'm
Well,
betting this game, I got to take Giants and getting 5,
well, I just checked and
5.5.
so I just checked the injury report and it looks like Daniel Jones suffered a strained neck, so he's questionable to play.
I like Mikey. If Mikey gets out there, I like that even better.
Yeah.
Mikey's playing for his NFL life, so and I call him Mikey because I know him. I know the family. Mike Glennon's a good dude. I like Mike. So that I'll dig in on that pick then.
Yeah, I don't think it's a downgrade from Daniel Jones to Mike Glennon.
Not
I
at
think
all.
I don't think it's a huge downgrade. I don't know if he's worth 2 points or whatever, 2.5 points, whatever the line movement is.
Yeah.
But I'm just leaning on Miami's defense. So all right. And yeah, another game I definitely won't be betting.
Yeah, not even a tease
So
for me on
next we
that one.
have the Indianapolis Colts uh, traveling to Houston.
Yep, yep.
Sorry, your video's frozen. Okay, good. Yeah, we have the Colts visiting the Texans. Indy's favorite 9. Houston just lost the Jets at home. This is a divisional game. Uh, I just it looks like public is heavy on Indy.
Yeah.
Um,
These are usually close games.
yeah, I feel like divisional games 9 points on the road. That's I think that's too much. I know. Jonathan Taylor looks like he may be the best running back in the league that's healthy right now. But it's a divisional game. I can't lay 9 with Indy on the road. So I'm gonna go with Houston. I think they'll show some fight at home. I know Tyrod Taylor didn't look good, but I think he'll bounce back this game. It could also be a letdown spot after Indy losing that game to Tampa Bay. So, yeah, too many points on the road on a divisional matchup. I'm going with Houston.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I was leaning due to what happened last week. Big letdown, massive public on the Indy. These games are usually close, especially with it being a
Right.
division game. I'm going with Houston
Right.
plus 9 to lock that in.
Yeah, I actually like that a lot. I'll probably have a wager on that one. This is especially when the public is heavy on one side. You kind of want to zig when the public zags.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. All right. So the next game we have the Minnesota Vikings
This is the game of the week.
traveling to Detroit. I don't know if it's the game of the week. Spread is 7. Minnesota favor 7. Dalvin Cook suffered an injury.
Yeah.
I think he had a separated shoulder or dislocated shoulder. But Madison has been a very good running back in his place. So I don't think that's a huge downgrade. This Detroit team, it's hard to bet on, right? Even though they covered on Thanksgiving by like a point, it's just I don't know. Like I said, you know how I feel about Goff. I don't.
Yeah, they've cost me money this year. I'm screw them.
I actually won my survival pool because I picked Chicago to beat Detroit, and others had like Dallas. So yeah, I had Dallas available, but I didn't feel good about that game, so I actually went with Chicago. I was like, I can't. I'm just gonna fade this Lions team. I don't think they're gonna win a game this year.
No, I can't see it.
I know this is another divisional game, right? And Minnesota's getting or Detroit's getting 7 points. It's a lot, but man, I don't. But Swift is also hurt, so he's questionable.
That's their offense. That's
I mean, Jamal Williams is the backup.
That sounds right.
I mean, he's okay, but DeAndre Swift, I feel like he's he's looked really good this year. He could be a top tier running back. I think I'm going to lay the points with Minnesota. I don't see Detroit putting up much of a fight in this one. I mean, maybe they want to scrap for a win because they're still technically winless since they have a tie. But I think Zimmer is coaching for his job right now, and this is a must-win game. At 5 and 6, technically they're still in the playoff hunt, so you can't. I don't think they're gonna take this game lightly. So I'm going with Minnesota laying 7 on the road.
Yeah, that's another one where I'm going to agree with you. Minnesota's 4-2 on the road against the spread. I think Kirk Cousins is going to use this game to inflate his stats a little bit to try to get himself into the MVP conversation somehow. Because if you look at his numbers, he's putting up almost MVP type numbers this year. So
MVP type numbers. I think
hey,
Stafford put up MVP type numbers with the Lions when he was on the line. He threw for like over 3,000 yards, and
but Stafford is showing who he really is now.
Stafford can't beat winning teams, right? Or teams that are above 500. He's
Right.
good against bad teams. He's like, I guess he's like Kirk Cousins,
Like the old Kirk.
the old Kirk.
The new Kirk is in town, and he's going to show out in this game against the Lions. They're going to cover that 7 easy. 14-point plus win.
Yeah. All right. I'll lay 7. I don't know. I don't think the coaching staff trusts him either. Like because of the play calling, you could tell how much a coach trusts a quarterback by the way they call the plays. If they're calling all these short throws or like passes to the line of scrimmage, it's because they have their doubts of you throwing the ball downfield or making mistakes or turning the ball over. So
I think Kubiak's taking the reins off him a little bit this year. He's giving him a little more freedom, a little more. And yeah. Kirk hasn't made him pay for that decision yet. So
I mean, he has one of the best receivers in the league. So
yeah, absolutely.
Jefferson is he's
real deal.
He's like unguardable. So yeah, I'm gonna play the Vikings here. Okay, so for the next game we have the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to the Jets.
This is another barn burner.
Yeah, definitely a barn burner.
Heck yeah.
Philly laying 6.5. Just coming off a big win, I guess. If you could call it that. What is the status on Zach Wilson? Is he healthy? Like, did he get dinged up again?
Not sure. I hadn't heard anything about that, and I don't think there's any news out there on that either.
Yeah, and I know Jalen Hurts was dinged up, like a sprained ankle or whatnot.
I don't see any news about Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Miles Sanders was also dinged up. I don't know. This is hard to call. 6.5.
Not for me. I'm all in. This might be my lock of the week. Heck,
I'm taking the Jets here. Some Jets are like, they either look really bad or they're in games. You know what I mean? So this team beat Tennessee at home. I'm not impressed that they beat Houston, but I don't know. Their defense is really bad though. That's what worries me, because they gave up 45 points to Buffalo and Indy on back-to-back weeks. They lost to Miami by 7, and then they rebounded to beat Houston. Somehow they also beat Cincy earlier this year, and then they also beat Tennessee at home. But this Philly team, I don't know. I don't trust them. They're still young. I think, are they going to lean on their run game? Because if they lean on their run game, they could definitely exploit Jets defense. But Miles Sanders being hurt, I think Jordan Howard's also injured. So what does that mean? They have to lean on Gainwell and Boston Scott. I don't think they're going to let Hurts throw a lot after coming off a 4 interception game, unless he runs a lot. But 6.5 is a lot. I'm going to go with the Jets here.
Again, I gave the spoiler in the beginning on this one. I'm definitely going with the Jets. That's 6.5. This has this game in consideration for lock of the week for me. I think the game plan for beating Philly in this game is pulling out Miami's game plan against the Ravens, stacking the box. If Jalen Hurts, if he plays, if he's going to beat you, I mean, you got to give them that. But I can't see that happening, especially with the running game being dinged up. You got to take the Jets 6.5 here. And that's a game I would consider putting money on. I love that. I love that play.
Man, I don't think I'll be watching this game.
No,
I don't have the same level of confidence.
Unless I put money on.
But. Yeah. I mean, I have Jalen Hurts on one of my fantasy teams, so I'll have tabs on it, but not a game that I'm very interested in, All right. So to the next game, we have the Arizona Cardinals traveling to Chicago. Spread 7.5. Is that right? Arizona favors 7.5.
Yeah,
on the road.
The live line open at 7. Now 7.
I'm assuming this line means that Kyler Murray is healthy.
He's on track to play.
DeAndre Hopkins will also play, I'm guessing, because I think they're going to need them. 7.5 Chicago.
Dalton starting?
Yeah, I would have to double check the injury report.
If he is, I like that stuff.
Well, Justin Fields, it looks like he's probable to play.
So he's playing.
I don't know, man. I don't know about Dalton either, because like even that game, even on that Thanksgiving game versus the Lions, he misses throws. That's just he's a good backup quarterback, but I don't think he's a starting quarterback in the league.
Not anymore. I was an Andy Dalton guy. I wanted the Washington football team to bring him in when they had Gruden, but he's making me look like a fool because he doesn't have it. He's lost his fastball. So,
and I'm pretty sure Nagy is still coaching for his job because there were rumors of him getting fired.
Yep.
But they did beat the Lions, so I don't. He might be on a short leash.
Well, they never fired a coach in season, so he might be safe.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But this Cardinals team coming off a bye, getting healthy. They were one of the dominant teams earlier this year, so I don't see them. I don't see them tripping up at Chicago. I mean, Mac he's also out for the year. I don't think that Chicago defense is the same. Khalil Mack, he's been out, and I don't know if they'll be able to generate enough pass rush.
It's gonna rain on Sunday in Chicago. That can make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, but even that game versus the Lions, Jared Goff had a couple passes down the field where he got 2 touchdowns, threw for 2 touchdowns. Made Jared Goff look good. So I'm gonna go and lay the points 7.5 with Arizona. I think they'll cover this easily. Justin Fields is still a rookie quarterback. Coming in, facing one of the top NFC teams. I don't think it'll be a close game. I think the Cardinals cover.
I have a weird feeling about this game. I don't know why. It's just some kind of weird tingle. And looking at that weather just now in Chicago, that rain could throw a damper on, so to speak, on Arizona's air raid passing scheme. I'm going to take Chicago on plus 7.5. Just a weird feeling. This could be every week for the past like 4 or 5 weeks. There's been that one game, maybe even 2 games per week that just doesn't make any sense.
That's true.
This could be that one this week. I just have a feeling about that. So I'm taking Chicago plus 7.5.
That's true. I mean, we don't know what happens during a bye. So like there are teams that come off a bye and then they lost all the mojo that they had going in. So that could be a situation. Kyler Murray could be rusty. He hasn't played for a while. So that could also be a factor,
And this will show whether or not Nagy has lost the locker room. They come out and lay an egg, then the team is just ready to move on. But if they come out and keep it win or lose, if they keep it within 7.5, that to me shows they still have some fight left, and I think they will.
Okay. All right. For the next game, we have the LA Chargers traveling to Cincinnati. Cincinnati coming off a thumping of the Steelers, sweeping the season series. And Chargers laying an egg in Denver. I was rooting for Denver because some of the other people in the survivor pool were on the Chargers, and I was like, I would definitely not have taken the Chargers in that situation. So
no, they never play well here.
Yeah,
and there's history of that going back to.
Spread is only 3. It's kind of concerning. Joe Mixon has looked really good. This Chargers team, man, I can't figure them out. It's like they alternate wins and losses. So why is the spread only 3? I feel like the spread should be Bengals minus 4.5.
That's pretty much a pick 'em.
Right, 3 is just a field goal game. So that seems a bit fishy. And whenever I feel it's fishy, I'm definitely going to take the underdog here. So I'll go with the Chargers +3. I gotta just zig and zag when people, or zag when people zig. Um,
Yeah, and I'm feeling that too. Public is all over Cincy.
yeah,
Even though I'm feeling that, I'm gonna go with Cincy. The Chargers just looked so bad last week, and like I said, they usually do
they did.
here, but they look so inept that it worries me that that might have been the beginning of their just slide towards the basement in the division, even
Right.
below the Raiders at the end of the season. I think the Bengals will go out here and take this one. They've shown with that. I mean, Pittsburgh is a team that's pretty much garbage at this point, but
I mean, I've been saying Ben Roethlisberger is just
washed.
not the same. He's done
No,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been saying
Um,
this. So
but yeah, I think the Bengals will go out there and handle business and take charge in the division. This is their opportunity to go ahead and take the driver's seat over Baltimore and the Ravens. The Browns are pretty much done. I think they'll go out here and handle business and cover that 3.
okay. So we're in a disagreement there. But I don't. It's a coin flip game.
Yeah.
All right, and so next game we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Atlanta.
Another candidate for game of the week.
Tampa Bay laying 11. It's a lot of points, but this Atlanta team just, oh man, I don't.
Unbelievably bad. I can't.
I mean, they beat Jacksonville, right? So I don't know.
Patterson is back, which helps.
Yeah, he's like their whole offense.
Yeah.
If you just shut down Patterson, I don't know who they go to. Russell Gage. I know he had a pretty decent showing, but I don't know. I don't not a huge fan of Matt Ryan. I haven't been a fan of him for years. So, and without any weapons, and Tampa beat him by 23 the first time. Gronk is back. He was heavily involved in that game versus Indy.
There was talk that Antonio Brown was supposed to be back for this game. I'm not sure.
Yes, I heard that as well. And if that is, I think it's just too much for Atlanta to cover. And I usually don't like taking double-digit spreads. If Atlanta somehow win this game, this would be like the biggest shock, biggest upset for me of the year, even more than Jacksonville beating Buffalo. Because this Atlanta team, I don't know. They look, the games that they've lost, they look like they may be the worst team in the league. But yeah, I think I'm gonna lay the points with Tom Brady. 11 points. He's getting his weapons back. Leonard Fournette had 4 touchdowns. Who are you gonna guard? Like, who do you stop? You can't. There's too many weapons. Like Evans and Godwin didn't have a good game, but they didn't even need him. They just leaned on the run. And then if they have Brown and Gronk fully healthy, it's just too many weapons. And they won last week without Tom Brady having a good game.
Yeah.
And Indy's defense is a lot better than the Atlanta defense. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay and the points, or laying the points.
Yeah, agreed. Everything you said made a whole lot of sense. Of course, this is one I don't even have to spend a lot of time on. It's just, to me, that's obvious. Even with the 11, Tampa will win this one easily.
All right,
covering that 11.
Yep. Put in on all your parlays.
Yep.
Money line, Tampa Bay money line your parlays.
Yeah.
All right, and now to the late games. We have the Washington football team coming off an exciting Monday night win over the Seattle Seahawks, heading to Las Vegas Raiders, where the Raiders are actually favored 2.5. I know they came off a big win in Dallas. What are they gonna do about their kicking situation? Are they gonna sign a kicker? I don't know why did they cut Hopkins? Like, I don't understand why they did that. It wasn't like he was having an awful year. After that, this is like their third kicker that they use this year. And then they're probably gonna have to sign another kicker. Like, if their kicker was healthy that game yesterday, it wouldn't have been close. They could have sealed the game with a field goal at the end. But Washington coming off the bye, their defense has improved a lot. It looks like they're starting to gel, even without Chase Young. They look like they're resembling the defense of last year, where they're 2.5. I think Washington has all the momentum. Gibson had a huge game yesterday. It looks like McKinnon's going to be okay. And Logan Thomas is back, so another weapon. Curtis Samuel is healthy again. I know he played limited snaps, but anything helps right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and ride with Washington because it looks like they have all the momentum and their defense has improved after the bye. So they beat Tom Brady, they beat Carolina, they beat Russell Wilson, even though he hasn't looked the same since the injury. But that's 3 games in a row. They're technically still in the playoff hunt. So I'm gonna take Washington on the road. I like this play a lot, actually. So I know I'm being a homer, but
No, I'm not even a homer anymore, and I love it too. And that them getting points, even though it's on the road,
Right.
on the West too, is shocking to me, especially with the way the Raiders have looked here of late. Even in victory, they haven't looked so good. But Washington, with them losing Young and Sweat, they have to actually scheme on defense now because Del Rio doesn't have anybody to blame anymore. So he has to bring the heat. He has to run stunts up front. And he's doing that and getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks, which is making their secondary look like it was billed to be a top secondary in the offseason. It's actually looking like that now because they're playing a scheme on defense as opposed to, okay, you guys go get the quarterback, and that's just it. So with the defense turning things around, Heineke is playing steady, almost mistake-free football as opposed to earlier in the season when he's running around and throwing picks and fumbling everywhere.
Right.
Him just managing the game, them leaning on Gibson.
Yep.
That's the recipe for success. And they're going to keep that going this week. This for me, I had another game earlier that might have been my lock of the week, but this is also in consideration getting those points on the road.
Yep.
Washington plus 2.5. That's my pick.
Yeah, I think Washington wins this game.
Like the under too.
I'll take the money line. This will be my underdog play of the week for sure. Plus 2.5.
WFT and the under.
WFT, FTW, right? For
Deshaun Jackson revenge game.
Yeah. It could happen, but I still think Washington will win the game. But and the public is heavy on Vegas. So that makes me like it even more. All right. So the next game we have the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Los Angeles, where they're facing the Rams, who are the 13-point favorites. Man, that's a lot of points.
Yeah. Well, the Jags are under 500.
Yeah, they are. So
Stafford
should ball out this game. He should ball out this game. I think Henderson is out this game, so they're going to have to play Sony Michel as their primary running back. Beckham actually had a touchdown, but he looks like he's always dinged up. So, he might have a good game. I think Cooper Kupp will probably have a couple touchdowns. Cooper couple touchdowns this game, probably. Is it Van Jefferson, who's the other receiver? He looks pretty good too. So I think it's too many weapons for Jacksonville. And I think I hate laying big spreads because the back doors are always open.
Yeah.
But how can I take this Jacksonville team? What? Yeah, and the public is all over Jacksonville too. But this Jacksonville team lost to Atlanta. They're on a 3-game losing streak. They somehow beat Buffalo by only kicking field goals. I don't think they're gonna. So are you really that impressed that their defense played a lot of cover 2 to limit Josh Allen? I think that's more on Josh Allen. Yeah, I'm gonna lay the points here with the Rams. I think they take out their frustrations on the lowly Jaguars. They can't Rams can't beat good teams, and Jacksonville is not a good team, so they'll probably you know crush them and it'll make them look good. But in reality, we know they're just middle of the pack. But they have so much talent on that roster. They're underperforming right now. But I mean, it stems with Stafford just not making good decisions. Uh, but yeah, but this Jacksonville team, I can't back them. I'm gonna take the Rams here -13.
Yeah, likewise. This will be the week Matthew Stafford can quiet some whispers for a week before he, runs off the rails again. I don't know who they have next week, but if it's anybody over 500,
Yeah,
that's why I'm going to take them with the points, is just because of how he performs against poor teams. So,
okay.
like that too. Hopefully, the defense can gel. Von Miller can get into action this week. With the running back being out, who knows? It might be closer than that 13, but I can't take Jacksonville here. Rams cover.
All right. Next, we have the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Pittsburgh. Baltimore laying 4. Pittsburgh coming off a huge thumping in Cincinnati. Baltimore coming off a win, even with Lamar Jackson throwing 4 interceptions. I think that's the first time that's happened in the Super Bowl era where
wow.
There's a stat that's like first time a quarterback's throw 4 interceptions and had
that's a good
a certain amount of yards and still won the game. I think that just shows how bad Baker Mayfield is. He can't even take advantage of a short field. But yeah, I mean, usually these games are close. Pittsburgh these teams don't like each other. So when in this matchup, I always take the team getting points. So even though Ben Roethlisberger looks like he's unable to throw a forward pass, I'm going to go ahead and take Pittsburgh because, I mean, that game versus Cleveland, Baltimore didn't look impressive. Like Lamar had 4 interceptions. He's capable of, turning the ball over. It's not like he lit the world on fire. He just, it's just Baker was more inept. So yeah.
Yep.
And Pittsburgh being at home, getting points. I'm in a divisional game, 4 points. I think it might be a field goal game either way. So I'm gonna take Pittsburgh here, getting 4 points at home.
Agreed. I think Pittsburgh wins outright. So I love the fact that they're getting points. If they were to lose this week, it would begin to show that Tomlin is starting to lose the team. And I don't believe that's the case by any means. Right. The way he's been, I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff he's been saying in press conferences. Yeah. He's a funny guy with that dry, like angry, but you can kind of tell underneath there's some humor in there too. But he's not having it. And I think they'll respond this week against Baltimore, who somehow, like you said, pulled out that win. Lamar Jackson has won an MVP, but I'm still not sold on him. I mean, maybe I'm hating. I don't know, but
I mean, until he wins a playoff game or like a big playoff game, how can you be? Tony Romo was really good during the regular season, but in the playoffs, what has he accomplished? So until you win in the playoffs, you're not that elite level quarterback in my book. So
yeah, Pittsburgh +4. I don't even think that's a hard pick, even though the public's all over Baltimore.
Yep. All right. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Seattle. Opened at 2.5. Now they're favored 3.5 after Seattle's woeful performance, primetime performance. I mean, there's no way I could back Russell Wilson until he starts looking like Russell Wilson. There's like someone, he's like I don't know who's out there right now. But he's someone that looks like Russell Wilson. He's like the Cliff Paul, the State Farm version that's out there of Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Because he's just out there, but he's not running the ball as much. he looks inaccurate. I don't know how DK Metcalf doesn't have a catch till like the last drive. I don't know if it's a play calling, if Pete Carroll's done, if he's cooked. They don't have a run game. It's Alex Collins and DJ Dallas, and it looked like they abandoned the run. And I feel like they're abandoning the runs too early too, since they're like, oh, we have Russell back, we'll just rely on him. But he looks, he's been inaccurate. And then San Francisco, it looks like they're getting hot at the right time, coming off 3 straight wins. I know Deebo Samuels is out, and he's been a huge part of their offense, and it's kind of strange how they've been using him. They've been lining him up at running back, and he's had like 3 rushing touchdowns in a row, or 3 weeks in a row he's had a rushing touchdown. But Elijah Mitchell still looks good. They could throw the ball to Brandon Ayuk. George Kittle's still there. I think until Russell Wilson looks like himself, he's on auto fade. I mean, this might be his ploy trying to get out of Seattle too. So who knows? But I can't back Seattle, especially the way Russell Wilson has looked. So I'm taking San Francisco here, like 3.5.
Yeah, this being a division game, it will be close. But the way Seattle's offense looks right now, it looks like their offensive coordinator is playing like he used to play Madden back in the day, trying to get big plays every single play. He's only calling like long bombs, which other teams are ready for at this point. They know that's Seattle's offense. They know Seattle doesn't utilize the running game at all, and they know Russell Wilson doesn't really run anymore. So you just play that cover over the top, and the offenses look completely inept.
Yeah.
San Francisco is going to play grinded out football with that Shanahan scheme and keeping the ball out of Garoppolo's hands. So I think they'll win a close game, but I think they'll cover that 3.5.
Yeah, it looks like I think Russell Wilson's kind of suffering from what Pat Mahomes was suffering earlier this year, where he keeps trying to play hero ball. Because he's had open receivers in the middle of the field, like where
they showed that play last
night.
If
you watched the game, he had open guys in the middle, but he would just try to throw it long, try to get that big yard, and to the team's detriment, that hasn't worked out. And you saw how Pat Mahomes, once he's changed his game, he finally looks like himself. I think Russell Wilson needs to do the same. He needs to stop playing hero ball, and he hasn't been accurate.
But also, like you said, he's also checked out too. He will not be there next year. He knows that the team knows it, so he's just going through the motions, trying to get out of here healthy.
Yeah, so we're both in agreement there, taking San Fran. All right, so Sunday night we have your Denver Broncos traveling to Kansas City. Kansas City laying 10 points. It's a lot of points. Broncos coming off a huge win against the Chargers. Is Bridgewater out? He got hurt last game, I believe, right?
Yeah, he did. He came back into the game.
He came back. Okay. 10 is a lot of points, but Kansas City usually doesn't cover big point spreads. Only thing that worries me is that it's Andy Reid off a bye, and he's like one of the most successful coaches coming off a bye. So that's what worries me. But 10 points is a lot. It's a lot of points, and it's a prime time game. So I don't know. It's hard. This is hard, but Kansas City has, before the bye, they've looked good too. They look like they finally got their or they finally figured things out. Or the defense, especially their defense, looks like it's finally figured things out. If I have to play this game, I think I like the under. 10 points. I don't know. Since I have to choose, I will go with Kansas City just because it's coming. I know it's a divisional game. It's a lot of points, but just because it's Andy Reid off a bye and their defense does look better before heading into the bye. Plus, they shut down the Dallas Cowboys offense, which is a lot more potent than this Denver team, I believe. So I'll ride with Kansas City here.
I like your pick because I'm going the other way.
All right.
With this being a division game, it should be close. I think Denver is going to use the same recipe that they used to beat Dallas. I know Dak was rusty in that game, but I think that they're going to play grinded out football again. Drew Lock came in the last time because Bridgewater got hurt, and he showed why he's going to be a career backup. Coming out there, of course, throwing an interception. It was a horrible play. So any of you Drew Lock supporters, it's time to go ahead and leave the room at this point.
Speaking of backups, how is what's his name? Josh Rosen still in the league? Did you see that one
Mr.
game?
Pick six.
That Thursday. What was a Thursday night game versus the Patriots?
Mm-hmm.
Like soon as he comes in, he throws an interception.
Yeah.
It was just like, how are you still in the league?
Still clocking checks, and
then
can't get a sniff.
And then I saw that video on Twitter where he's, when he was drafted, it's like there's 7 mistakes or 6 mistakes or whatever.
Yeah.
Made in front of me, and I was just like,
not at all.
how are you still in the league?
And Cam sat out all season and just now got a job, and Rosen's been collecting checks all year.
Right.
Makes no sense.
Cam looked awful too. So
yeah, he did.
I don't know.
KC is 1-5 at home against the spread. I think all things line up for Denver to plus 10 there. No doubt Kansas City should win the game, but Denver will keep it within 10. To me, that's another safe play, in my opinion. I think Bridgewater, he's not going to go out there and make mistakes. So that in and of itself is going to keep the game close. Denver's secondary can match up with Kansas City's weapons. Surtain is playing at an elite level this year as a rookie. He's in line to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. So I think they've got the tools to keep that within 10. Denver plus 10.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It's a close, it's a divisional game. Yeah. And Kansas City rarely covers big spreads. So I'll be watching, see how Kansas City looks. Yeah. I mean, it looks like the public is leaning Denver too, just because it's a huge number. I don't like the fact that I like all the big spreads this week. So that's usually not a good recipe for success. So
yeah, with the league being so crazy this year, I mean, really, who freaking knows?
Right.
Crazy games every week. So
yep.
But I like our picks. Y'all need to be listening and supporting. Subscribe.
Hit the like and subscribe.
That's right.
Looks like this Warriors and Suns game is really good.
Yeah.
I actually think Phoenix is going to take this, but I don't know. They're both on a hot streak. But yeah, let's finish this out with the Monday night game. We have the new red hot New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills at Buffalo. Buffalo laying 3, I believe. There's a 2.5. 2.5. Belichick is on a mission this year. It's his it's his revenge year. I think it really upset him that Tom Brady won a Super Bowl without him. So he's
yep.
he sees his ex doing well, and he's like, oh, you think you're gonna succeed without me? Like, I'll show you what I could do. And he's on a mission right now.
Yeah.
And he has with his new girlfriend Mac Jones. So he's looked solid. He's a Rookie of the Year candidate. He's playing well. I mean, their run game looks good. Their defense looks really good. This is a huge divisional game. I mean, I think Patriots have won 6 in a row coming up, and 6 in a row, 7 out of their last 8. And the game that they lost versus Dallas, if you remember, was an overtime game.
They're unbeaten on the road.
Yeah, I gotta keep riding this train. Belichick's on a mission. He's scheming well. His son looks crazy on the sideline doing his mouth motions. I don't calling all the defensive plays, but they've been shutting down teams. How can you bet against them right now? Buffalo looks vulnerable sometimes. There's games he looks good, or Josh Allen looks good, and there's games he doesn't. And even the Thursday night, that first half he didn't look good at all, and then second half they finally woke up, threw the ball to Dawson Knox, got some touchdowns. But this is a divisional game, and I think if Buffalo wins, I don't think it's going to be a blowout either. So Patriots have been in all their games this year, I believe, even when they lost to Tampa Bay. It was a 2-point game, a field goal game. I think their first game they got blown out by the Saints, but it was First game as a rookie is always hard. But yeah, I mean, I'm all over New England here, plus 2.5.
I love it too. New England plus 2.5. Again, they're 5-0 on the road. And even against the spread, they're 4-1. I mean, Josh Allen's already been exposed. The recipe to beat them is already out there. If it weren't, Bill Belichick still has it. He's a mastermind. So I think they'll cover. I mean, New England plus 2.5. Again, another safe play in my opinion. Division games are going to be close all the time, but this is New England's chance to go ahead and put the clamps on the division with this win. I think they will.
All right. So that comes to the end of the picks. Now we have the lock and the dog of the week. Do you want to start it off since you hit your lock last week or 2 weeks ago?
Let's see. I think I threw the Jets out there, and I threw Washington out there as two things I was eyeing as locks. I'll put Denver.
You sounded really confident about this Jets game. I don't know. You said that could be the game of the week. You were very high on this Jets team.
I'm gonna stick with my first instinct. That to me, that line doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe Vegas obviously knows more than I know, but right. I love that. That's my lock of the week. Jets plus 6.5. I love it.
Okay. And your dog?
My doggy. What's the criteria for underdogs again? Because I did it wrong last
any underdog you think that's going to win outright?
Oh, outright. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Was that still yours? I think you said that one, didn't you?
No, you have it's plus 172. That's a pretty good dog.
I like Pittsburgh to win outright, and I said that during the pick too. That I think they'll win the game outright.
All right, so Dale, his lock is the Jets plus 6.5, and
he's also a dog.
Yeah, and his dog is Pittsburgh Steelers money line plus 172 versus the Baltimore Ravens.
I got two dogs.
Two dogs. All right, my lock this week. Let's see. I'm definitely not taking any of the big favorites because I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this Monday night game. I'm gonna go with the Patriots plus 2.5 on the road. I mean,
I like that.
They're just the hottest team in the league. 7 out of 8 getting points on the road. Josh Allen looks vulnerable in some of the games, and Belichick, like I said, he's on a mission. He's upset that Brady won it. Succeeded without him. He wants to even things up. When Shaq and Kobe split up, Kobe wanted to win the ring without Shaq. After Shaq won in Miami, it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
So Belichick's on his mission right now, plotting. And that team looks good. That defense looks good. The play calling is solid. Their run game, they're using Stevenson, Bolden. They're mixing things up. Mac Jones not making any mistakes. I know Buffalo's. I think they're still the number 1 defense in the league, but I think it'll be a low scoring, grinded out type of game. My lock is the Patriots plus 2.5. As for my dog, it's a homer pick, but I don't think Washington should be the underdog here. Another team, I'm just riding that streak. Coming off the bye, they've won 3 straight. They beat Tom Brady. Their defense looks like they figured things out, made some adjustments. And I'm still not too impressed with this Raiders team. Deshaun Jackson is their deep threat. Josh Jacobs maybe, and Kenyon Drake are their running backs. I
think Waller's dinged up too.
Yeah, Waller's dinged up. I'm like my picks, are based on the teams that are hot, that are rolling right now, and I'm gonna go with the Washington football team plus 120. It's a baby dog. It's a puppy, but I I feel confident about that one. So let's try to get a sweep this week.
Sounds good. Yeah, we got this. I like it. I like
Yeah,
all
I like our picks this week.
Yeah.
Besides, I don't know about the Jets, but it is a lot of points. I wouldn't be touching that game, but yeah.
Hey, I'm jumping out there. I believe in my Jets. No.
Yeah. Your Jets. I mean, they are your Jets if you're putting money on it, right? Whatever. My rule of thumb is my favorite team is whatever team I have money on. That's my favorite team at the moment. And then it's the Washington football team.
Just roll with the New York parlay on Sunday. If the Knicks and Nets are also playing, throw them all and do a 4-game parlay with the Giants. The Giants to win too. So lump them all together.
I'm gonna put in a quick plug. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter handle is at Methodical Picks M3. The E is a 3. Methodical Picks. I post NBA and soccer picks mostly.
He's always dropping good nuggets.
Sometimes I post NFL plays, but if you like betting NBA, I'm kind of on a heater right now. Hit 7 out of the last 8. So I post plays there. You can reach me there. But yeah, let's get a sweep this week. I feel good.
Since we're doing shameless plugs, I'll drop a plug for my other podcast, The Talking Hats HD. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, all the social media platforms. You want to come on there this week and drop your 5 picks of the week?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always down. All right. Just let me know.
So you can find the other half of our broadcasting duo here. Joining me on my other podcast this weekend. We record Saturday mornings. If you ever want to come on live, just shoot us a message. I'll loop you on the Zoom if you want to jump in. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please support us, like, subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter. We have a Twitter page, but David drops picks on his page too. So either way, tell your friends. We'll be here for every week. Even during the holidays, we'll try to get something going. To keep it going every week. No more breaks. We don't need vacation. All right. Thanks again, y'all. Double Down Sports Betting tuning out. Have a good night.
Good night.